Hey everybody, it works! Oh my goodness, I hope everybody's doing good out there. I'm JD Simo coming at you from my lovely studio here in Nashville, Tennessee. I call this the Friendly Confines. I was born and raised in Chicago, and I'm a big Cubs fan, so we're gonna play some songs for you. This is the first of the Behind the Mic series for American Songwriter. Very grateful to be here with you guys, and grateful to be asked. And I've been spending a lot of time down here with my family, and really excited to get to play some music for you guys. So we're gonna start with a tune called Mind Trouble, which is something that my wife tells me that I have, and she's right, because we have a very healthy marriage, and this is the reason, because I married a woman smarter than I'll ever be. And this is sort of a Lightning Hopkins kind of thing, and I'm gonna play this old guitar, and gonna get a pick out of my pick pouch, you know, and it goes like this, okay? The doctor will please help me. I can't sleep, darling. Well, my mind is a worry mess. Well, I can't sleep. No, no. My mind is a worry mess. Yeah. Well, I hope and pray the doctor will help before I'm there. Well, I got mind trouble, and I don't think like you. I got mind trouble. I don't think like you. Yeah. Well, I hope and pray that the doctor help before I'm through. We're gonna book it. I don't think like you. I got mountain trouble. Yeah, baby. And I don't think like you. But I hope and pray that the doctor help before I'm through. I got the mind trouble, darling. Woo! Have a good time. All right. Well, that was a mind trouble. Thank you very much. Yeah. I hope everybody's feeling good out there. I'm actually gonna change guitars. It's an old Gibson 49 ES5 that I use for some stuff. I'm gonna go over here to my rack of doom and grab my old guitar Red. Love you, baby. We've been, me and Red been all over the world together. She's a little worse for wear these days, but I still play her anyway. So we got some questions that people had sent in. There's a couple of them. One is, this is a heavy one. What's the best advice you've ever received and have given? Well, I've been given a lot of really good advice. The first thing that comes to mind, when I first moved to Nashville, I went, great American songwriter, Rodney Crowell, I went over to his house, and he invited me over to hang out and get to know one another a little bit. This is right when I first moved to Nashville, and I remember him asking me at some point, he said, "JD, do you read?" And I said, at the time, I didn't really. You know, I was young, and I just, gotten out of school and all that, and I wasn't really an avid reader. And he was like, well, JD, if you want to be a writer, you really should read. And that is so right. And I mean, we talked about Tom Robbins' books, we talked about Timothy Leary, we talked about Jack Kerouac. And that spills over, I think, also into about being a musician. Like, if you're a musician and you don't like actively listen to lots and lots of music, then it's kind of like being a writer and not reading. You got to fill up your tank with quality fuel. You know what I mean? And so that's the first thing that kind of comes to mind. And so I hope that helps some folks out there. It certainly helped me and has enriched my life. We're going to do a song that's going to be on my new record that's coming out this July. This is a tune called One of Those Days. And what inspired it was actually here in this studio. I was working with my longtime drummer and collaborator, Adam Abrashoff. We usually write together, which usually means we jam and mess around with things until something feels good. And then I'll take it and write words and so on and so forth too. And so what inspired it is we were working on something really, really heavy. I don't remember what we were working on, but we were working on something real heavy. And we started playing this kind of Curtis Mayfield sort of groove. And we wrote it really quick. Like the whole song was written like in like 10 minutes, and I wrote the words really quick. And it's that's the best, is when they just kind of happen like out of nowhere. And so this is actually going to be released in May. This is the first track that's going to be released off the record. This is called One of Those Days, and goes like this. Plain to see. nothing worse, baby, than being alone. I ain't gonna let it. Won't waste another minute. It's okay. It's just one of those days. Yeah, all right. That is one of those days. And right now, I'm going to do this is a really old song. And I'm going to pick my bottleneck up for this one. This is an old, it's an old Earl Hooker song. And Earl Hooker is a guy that not many people, they just don't talk about him as much as some others. And I don't know why, man, because he was a hip guy, man, back in the 50s. Actually, there's lots of great stories about all the guys that lived in Chicago back then, Buddy Guy and Otis Rush and Muddy Waters, and they would all say that if they were around hanging, they would, if you asked them, like, who's the best picker in town, they'd all say Earl Hooker. And so anyway, there's a record of his that came out in the late 60s called Two Bugs and a Roach. A lot of people message me all the time saying, what should I listen to? What should I listen to that? So anyway, we're going to do We're. I'm so used to playing with other people. I'm going to do a song of his called Annalee. And a song I love doing. It goes like this, all right? Annalee, I want you for my own, Annalee. Annalee, now I want you for my own, Annalee. You say you're gonna be mine, yeah? Just hang around and see. Yeah, Annalee. Is that what you got, Annalee? Is that what you got, Annalee? You say you're gonna be mine, and it sure do make me feel alright. Annalee, yeah. Is that what you got, Annalee? Annalee, baby. Is that what you got, Annalee? You say you're gonna be mine. Just hang around and see. Oh, Annalee. Oh, woo, woo. Some Annalee for you, some old Earl Hooker. All right, I'm gonna actually go grab the low tune guitar. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab my low tune guitar. I'm gonna do another song that is gonna be on my new record that comes out in May. This is a tune called Help, which, you know, the state of things being what they are, you know, I think we can all relate. We're all in the same boat. I want to kind of keep, on purpose, keep this all pretty light, but you know, it is what it is, folks. It feels so good to just be playing music, man, you know, it feels good. I hope you all are having a good time out there. I'm honored to be here. Thank you again, American Songwriter, for having me. So this is an old, funky guitar that was I got from my buddy George Bradfute, the Tone Chaperone here in Nashville. He's a funky guy behind a lot of funky people. And I tuned this down all the way down to B. I'm going to do a song that is sort of in the style of a guy from Louisiana. His name was Latin and Slim, and he played jazz masters and stuff like that. And he would tune his guitars down some, and he played a lot of slide too, kind of like Earl Hooker. So anyway, this is a tune called Help, and goes out to everybody out there, okay? See the hole in me. It's full but empty with life's debris, and you know it won't fix itself till I break down and ask someone for help. I'm crying, help. I'm crying loud, help. I'm crying now, help. Baby, help. And here's the most important part. You know you can't love nobody until you learn to love yourself. Amen. nothing wrong with needing help. You know, only a foolish man tries to do it all by himself. 'Cause you see, we all want the same things, but we go around in circles now. Again and again, I'm crying. Hey, I'm crying now. Hey, I'm crying now. Hey, baby. You know you can't love nobody till you learn to love yourself. Promise me, people, you'll stop living in pain. You reach out and touch someone, I know they'll understand. 'Cause we're all in this together, there's nothing we can't do. We're bound together to help each other through. I'm crying, hey, I'm crying, hey, crying, hey, I'm crying, hey, 'cause you can't love nobody till you learn to love yourself. That was help for y'all out there. Yeah, having fun. I hope y'all are too. Let me go grab Red back. Hold on one second. Grabbing my guitar, grabbing my guitar, grabbing my guitar. This has really been a lot of fun, folks. Actually gonna do some more of these. And I really, really, really appreciate American Songwriter for having me. The Behind the Mic series, there's some incredible people coming up this week. Steve Warner's doing it on Wednesday, I believe, and Aubrey Sellers, I believe, is doing it Thursday or Friday. Just a couple more questions, and then I want to wrap up. There's one of the questions that people ask are, do you have any tips for getting discovered or signed? You know, in the world that we live in right now, I don't know if I have any really good advice for that. My thinking, this is just me, okay? My thinking is, if you're awesome and you continue to work really hard, which means get out and book your gigs and make new music and continue to try and get better at your craft, there are obviously business elements that come into play. But, you know, cream does rise to the top. And I think that if you're great, everybody's story is different. Generally, I'll put it this way, the things that have been most beneficial to me in my life was not because I was like chasing down somebody's Escalade and handing them a tape. Not for me, at least. It was seemingly a relationship that led to other relationships that led to other relationships, and all of a sudden things fall into place almost happenstantial. And I think that not enough focus is put on the sort of just do the next right thing in front of you and everything will lead where it needs to lead, because we're all so kind of focused on the destination instead of the journey. And the journey is a lot of fun, folks. The journey is more fun, actually. So that's what I would say on that, is just put stuff online. I mean, all of us are together here in that we all need something to fill the hours of the day. And I know for me, I'm watching more content than I think I've ever watched, as far as live streams, as far as opening up people's Spotify playlists, all that kind of stuff. And social media is just rapid fire right now because everybody's uploading content because we all have the time to look at it. So, you know, just make art and people will find you. So I'm going to end with a tune called With a Little Help from My Friends, which obviously is a Beatles song. Joe Cocker did it with Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I don't really do a lot of covers in my life, mostly do my own stuff, but I do this all the time. And one of the last questions here is, what stands out to you about this song and drives you to cover it during most of your sets? It's just such a positive song that everybody knows. It's obviously for people that are older, it holds a special prominence from Woodstock and from that whole element of music. And then I grew up in the 90s, so I grew up watching the Wonder Years, so like I have a connection to it because of that. And the Saturday Night Live crew, I'm a big fan of Saturday Night Live, and you know, John Belushi did his famous Joe Cocker impersonation, which also was like part of my childhood as well. So I'd like to dedicate this to each and every one of you. And also, again, thank you to American Songwriter for having me. And if you'd like to contribute something to the House of JD, there's down in the description, there's the Venmo, JD at JD Simo Music, and PayPal, jdsimomusic@gmail.com. Many thanks if you care to. If not, it's all groovy, man. We're all going to get through this together. And I hope to see you again sometime. And much love. I'll leave you with this, okay? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and now I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key, baby. Now I'm a little help from my friend. All I need is brother. I'm a little help from my friend. Yeah, I'm a little help from my friend. Baby child, yeah. What do I do when my love is away? Does it scare me to be alone? What do I feel at the end of the day? I never scared, 'cause you know I ain't ever gonna be on my own. Yeah, I'm a little help from my friend. All I need is brother. I'm a little help from my friend. Yeah, I'm a little help from my friend. Yeah, yeah, darling. Whoa. Well, well, I need someone to love now. Woman, I need somebody, baby. I want to tell you, darling, now. Yeah, now. Oh, yeah. Well, now, baby, please, now. I'm a little help from my friend. All I need is brother. I'm a little help from my friend. I'm a little help from my friend. Yeah, darling. Oh, yeah. Would you believe in a love at first sight? I'm certain it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I see my baby's face staring back at mine, but now I'm a little help from my friend. All I need is brother. I'm a little help from my friend. I'm a little help from my friends. Yeah, that's all we need, folks, now. Yeah. Well, now. Well, now. Woman, I need someone. Everybody We're gonna get through this now, folks. Just hang in there. Yeah. Just remember to be kind and hang in there, folks. We'll get through it together. Peace.